But the biggest story to emanate from the weekend does revolve around Carlton after their shock 11-point loss to the North Melbourne Football Club. I mean, it was a scoreline that flattered them in the end. They trailed by as much as 46 points, and it's ignited a discussion around their coach, Michael Voss, and whether rightfully or wrongfully, he is the man to take them forward. What say you when it comes to Voss's future?
Yeah, I understand the discussion, and it's going to be a big talking point because they've underperformed. And when you underperform, often it is the coach that cops it and cops the pressure. Not for the first time, mind you, for Michael Voss, but I just think the last thing that Carlton need is to sack another coach. And we've seen them do that in the past and panic and react as we have a look at the coaches there that they've sacked in the last 20 years. There's some big names there, and there's quite a group from 2019 onwards, like 2 coaches there, and if you sack Michael Voss to make it 3 in the space of 6 years would be a mistake. So he's contracted until the end of next year. I'll just be holding until the halfway point of next year and finding out. Largely, I think it's around personnel. Yep, there's definitely some game style stuff with the way that they move the football. They kick backwards far too often and just don't give their forwards a chance. But I think a revitalised coaching group, they've got to get some midfielders in that can run. And when you look at that midfield group, their athletic profile is horrible. Like even Patrick Cripps is not a runner. And I think you've seen how much Melbourne have struggled when you look at Petrarca and Oliver and Viney and players that can't run versus what Geelong have been able to do and add some real runners, some elite speed, some elite endurance into that midfield. So that's the number one priority. Then a small forward, I was baffled as to why Motlop started as the sub, came on and had an immediate impact. They don't have, he's the only small forward they've got, and they opted to start him as a sub. So that was ridiculous and bizarre. And then they need another running half back. So where they get that from, I'm not sure, because their first pick in the draft right now is 36. So that's not ideal. But there's some list changes that need to be made, and Michael Voss needs help. I think he could do worse, and getting Ken Hinkley to come across and look at some of the ball movement stuff, which has been one of Ken's strengths, and if he wasn't a senior coach, for that to be his portfolio, and to offer him a steady hand of leadership and someone that's been through the pressure before as well, and they've worked together, would be a good addition.
I mean, Ken's a very ambitious man. He's a career coach. Do you think he would enjoy being an understudy? That's what he would be if he went to Carlton alongside Michael Voss.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 18 jobs though, isn't there? Well, there's less than that because there's a few clubs that are pretty happy with their coach. I think Geelong are pretty happy with theirs. I think Gold Coast are fine with theirs. So there may only be 1 or 2 jobs that come up. So Ken's probably got no choice. I think he takes the best available job, and I think a coaching director or a senior assistant coach under Michael Voss at a big club would be a change for him, but I just think he loves footy. He loves working with players, and I think he would take the best available job and biggest challenge. And certainly I imagine if they were able to turn it around and become really competitive again, what the rewards would be like at Carlton if that was to happen.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.